Hello and welcome to the Green Tree for another episode. So I've been capturing video clips of my entire grow, right from when it germinated to when it was first planted into a tiny 2-inch net pot, and all the way through to harvest. So I thought I'll put a video together and talk through this whole experience of growing tobacco indoors. So I used Fox Farms, or if you live in different parts of the world or different parts of the country, you may not have access to it. It's basically a really good potting mix that you can buy in a bag, and that works really well for tobacco. And if you don't have access to that, you could get your hands on some real good potting soil, potting mix. Or if you're into putting together a blend of potting mixes, you can do that as well. Generally, tobacco loves nitrogen. They like a lot of nitrogen, and that's what makes it nice and green and lush. So if you're starting to see yellow spots, or yellowing of the plants in general at a much younger stage, that usually a sign that you can give them some nitrogen, but then it's too late by the time you see it on the leaves. So if you have a little bit of experience with how fertilizer works on plants, it'll be very easy for you. You can plan for it ahead and make sure you put in some fertilizer in your potting mix. Okay, so speaking of that, I've got some cow compost that I used this time, very first time. I was reluctant to use it at first, thinking it was going to smell and all that, but then honestly, the one I bought in a bag, I could not even tell it was cow compost. So I put them on when I transplanted the tobacco into my 3-gallon pots, fabric pots, and I really did not have to give them any more nutrients or any more fertilizer. It was just straight watering, and I was able to get them to grow to a decent size. And these leaves are pretty big for an indoor grow with just LED lights. I'm sure this has got something to do with the strain that it is, how it's growing, and how big it's growing as well. I believe this is the Ahu strain. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but it's basically a ancient aesthetic type tobacco strain that I started my very first grow with, and I was really surprised how well the leaves grew, or the plant grew in general. And on the top, I have my second batch going. This is the first batch that's getting ready to get harvested. So oh, there it is. So I do have some clips of me harvesting the leaves. So one thing about harvesting is how would you know that your leaf is ready to harvest, right? So roughly I let this whole thing run for about 65 days, and I think right around that time I was quite confident it's getting close to harvest just by looking at the plants. The bottom leaves, the Seiko leaves all the way in the bottom, they start to turn yellow first. So the bottom will start to turn yellow first, and that's a sign that your plant's getting ready for harvest. Okay, so it does not mean that the whole plant has to be harvested immediately. I think it's perfectly okay to just start with harvesting the bottom leaves first, and then work your way up to the top over a period of time. So in this video, I'm basically harvesting this entire plant, but in the other grows that I've done, I've seen real good results with just harvesting the bottom leaves first. That way the rest of the plant grows a little bit more. So the top leaves do grow a little bit more, so you can let them grow for a little bit more, and then harvest the remaining leaves, the visos and the ligeros on the top. Okay, so another surprising thing that happened was once I finished harvesting and I put the pot outside, after a month, I was very surprised. There were a new set of leaves growing on the plant that I had already harvested. Okay, I don't think I have clips of that in this video, but I was very surprised. Anyway, it's a resilient plant. It grows very easily. Anybody can grow it. It's just leaves. I don't think it's hard to get tobacco to germinate. But I did use a heating mat, and there are some conditions you want to maintain, like good humidity and temperature at 70, and humidity, also at 70. So you want to maintain that kind of a condition. A humidity dome or something like that, that could definitely increase your chance of germination. Anyway, we've got to the point of this video where I've already harvested, and I've built a little box, as you could see, and I used some bamboo sticks to prop myself a frame, and I just threw my leaves on top to dry. Okay, so that was drying, and now we're looking at curing. So again, I used some metal hooks to hook my leaves up, as you can see, and basically hang it on the bamboo sticks and leave it in the box. I did put a little bit of I did put like some humidity patches in there, just to make sure the humidity is going to be stable in there. There are some holes on that box just for that same reason. There's air supply, and that way nothing's going to rot on the inside. And most importantly, every day I was opening the box and pulling all the leaves out and inspecting them, and I was putting them back. Okay, and now they're taking a look at the curing process. Okay, so the leaves have all dried up, and now they're starting to cure. So this is going to be curing for a year at least. So this is the final step of the process, where I bring the hooks, I basically hang the hooks again into another box, which is my curing box, which is exactly the same setup. Temperature and humidity, somewhere it's 50 relative humidity, and temperature somewhere at like 68 or 70 degrees. It is very important to keep a nice rotation going, and you want to make sure there's enough air movement, airflow in the box as well. That's basically a wrap for this video. I thought it was a wonderful journey, and I thought I'll share that experience with you in this video. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and I highly recommend you try your own method of growing tobacco, and I'm very much positive you'll be very surprised how wonderful the plant will grow. Alright, that's all I've got for this video. See you in the next one. Bye now.